So, having been assaulted by some unknown assailant, we find ourselves in a pretty dire situation health-wise. And even more than that, we find ourselves in a brand new location of the ship, which, coincidentally enough, happens to be an infirmary. And it seems that someone knocked us out and dragged us even further into the depths of the Orpheus, but, well, since we have a brand new location, might as well go ahead and heal up and start exploring around. As it seems that, well, it does strike me as a bit odd that, well, rather than being attacked by some supernatural force like most of the ghosts, something physically attacked us, which means that it could have been another real-life person. Before we get too deeper into that mystery, as with most other portions of the Orpheus, there are going to be plenty of spirits that we're going to need to help out. So we might as well get started and see what the problem is with this older-looking gentleman.
I don't know. What poison? I don't know anything. So, William, I don't know anything.
So we have another reference to this mysterious Sir William, and also some really strange ramblings about poison. Seems that the doctor might not be fully under the control of his senses, but, well, at least he seems to be, carrying out his normal office hours. And while I haven't really brought it up before, there is an in-game clock. You can kind of see it there in the upper right-hand portion. And it runs off a system that's not normally explained in the game, but more or less, 1 second that passes, in normal time is 1 minute of in-game time. Now, while this hasn't really been a necessity to keep track of before, it is going to come up in just a little bit, but before we deal with that, there are a few goodies that we can rummage and rampage through to get in the doctor's office here. First being in the middle desk drawer here. We can get a nice replacement curing potion for the one we had to heal ourselves up with. And there's nothing else left on this desk, but there's a very large cupboard over here. We want to ignore the larger doors for now, because there are a few things of interest in the lower drawers. Namely, in the larger lower drawer, we are able to find another curing potion. And in addition to that, the final drawer down here, it just happens to be locked. So that is going to be something we're going to need to remember. But the reason I ignore these top doors for now, well, it's because they are going to be our transportation. We get a pretty nice change of pace with all the other dreary locations we've been taken to. It seems this is probably a year before the trip on the Orpheus. And we get to see just what the ship's doctor was up to beforehand. As you can imagine, though, the doctor is a little bit perturbed by our sudden interference into his work, and, well, I can imagine anyone would be pretty taken aback by just someone suddenly appearing next to them, but while he is occupied, maybe we can, poke around here a bit. That does not seem to be the case either. Yeah, the doctor is very, very touchy about anyone messing with his equipment. And pretty much anything we interact with in this room will lead to a similar reaction from him. And while we can leave this past sequence by using that door, there is one very, very curious reaction we can get if we investigate these drawers here. So there is definitely something of interest to us in that drawer, but we're going to need to figure out some way to get into that office without the doctor being there, and that is where this little office hours thing comes into play. If we manage to wait around till 5 o'clock, well, something should happen.
It's time.
Yeah, the doctor, like clockwork, follows his normal schedule. And even if we wanted to follow him, he has locked the door behind him, but well, that does give us a prime opportunity to head back into the past and see if likewise he's missing there too. And good news for us, he is, which means that we can finally see what he was being so protective about here. Why, it's a prescription. Now, it's a bit odd that he would have such a strong reaction to someone trying to read a filled out prescription. I mean, maybe if someone was trying to steal prescriptions, maybe, but yeah, if we take a quick read of the prescription, we get a better idea of maybe just whatever mystery is going on here. Yeah, so it seems that the doctor was allowing the usage of some very dangerous drugs, though he was giving explicit permission to a William Rockwell to allow usage of. Otherwise, no one else was allowed usage of these incredibly dangerous drugs. And well, I guess the Sir William we've been hearing about all this time is well, I think it was the old man that we ran into on the train. Well, let's just see what the doctor's reaction is to having found this long-lost prescription. Making sure to obviously get into the right position.
That's Sir William's. Oh!
Man, the doctor reacted like he had seen a ghost. But we do have more questions for him, so we might as well give chase. First, though, we need to make a quick little getaway from a brand new and very deadly ghost here. Yeah, I think since we dealt with that little girl ghost, we now have to have some replacement enemy to deal with, and well, thankfully this particular ghost isn't really as active, so while we are blocked from going down there, maybe we can turn on the lights to drive her away. Or well, maybe we're just blocked from heading down that direction for right now. Though, I get a feeling we probably should head down there at some point, but well, we have plenty of other avenues to explore, such as the Gambler's Den.
Welcome to Casino Orpheus. Would you like to hear the instructions?
Sure, why not? I'm always up for learning about gambling.
The main game is roulette, which is right over there. The object is to guess the number you think the ball will land on. If you guess wrong, then you lose your chips. That over there is a slot machine. You must match the patterns, or you lose your chips. I will give you 5 chips to start with. Use your chips sparingly.
Well, he seemed like a pretty informative and jovial type of man. But yeah, this is the Casino Orpheus, or as it said on the door outside, the gambling den. There are a few options that we can gamble with in here, but we do have a few other people we can talk to.
What do you want? You're not worthy of sitting here yet. Come back later.
Sadly, it seems like not all of them are as amicable as the manager, but yeah, this entire casino area is purely optional, though it does hold 3 souls that we can get, but I'll be covering more of this in a bonus video. For right now, we need to get another hint from the manager.
The hallway lights? Oh yes, the switch is still broken. I believe that there should be another switch around there. Why don't you try looking for it?
Well, that is pretty vague. It actually is pretty helpful for hopefully getting rid of that spirit in the hallway. So let's see. I think we have another 2 doors we can check out here. Might as well check out the closer one first. Because it does hold another spirit in need, but even more than that, it holds pure nightmare fuel. Yeah, if you haven't thought any other portion of this game is pure terror, well, welcome to the room that encapsulates pretty much all of that. And believe it or not, I think this room is supposed to be for children. So, yeah, do not bring your children aboard the Orpheus, apparently. Yeah, let's see what this woman needs.
He's not here. Where did he go? Where did my son go?
Well, that's a reasonable worry. I assume he's probably not hiding anywhere back in the back corners of the room here, but it never hurts to look around. Especially considering that there is a hidden away chest that, yeah, is more than likely going to be of importance later, considering that it is locked right now. That's a very, very strange key, though. Almost looks like it might be a little sailboat or maybe a crown. Yeah, without anything else in here, Guess we only have one other place we can look at, but yeah, it's not really that hard to understand maybe why a child would not want to stay in this particular room. But yeah, let's check out that final door. Down this lit corridor here, which seems to be decorated with a very, very strange motif. It's a bit hard to tell in the darkness, but yeah, all these little pictures here apparently are astrological signs. And they are all lit up in strange, strange ways. Kind of wish it was enough light to get rid of that ghost, but yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to figure out some way to illuminate that hallway soon. I don't know, maybe we can ring the bell and get some assistance on that.
I'm sorry. The film is already over. After this, well, it's been reserved. Please, come again some other time. I'm sorry. So terribly sorry.
Well, while I would appreciate an engineer or maybe even an electrician, it's kind of a shame that we managed to miss out on some old-timey cinema. Maybe we can poke our heads in and see what type of theater they have set up on the Orpheus. Oh, and it seems that maybe we have a gentleman, a fellow film buff, that just enjoyed a picture show of his own. And in fact, it's the doctor we managed to scare out of the infirmary.
It was inevitable. Sir William, he is a dangerous man. I killed Sir Arthur.
And with another pang of regret, we learn a little bit more about the doctor's dark past, and maybe some horrible things he might have had to do for Sir Williams. Also, we find another claim ticket that we can use in the casino. But yeah, I think that is the first time we've heard about a Sir Arthur. No idea what connection that he might have to Sir William, but well, the only other person that we could really talk to right now, I think, is the engineer up in the projection booth. So let's maybe try to head up there. Now, it's not immediately clear how you might get up there, but there is a little door under the counter here. And while that is pretty easy to miss, it is very vital that you get back here. Because not only can you turn in some of those soul pieces that you've been collecting to get some additional holy water and healing items, but this is going to be your only avenue to get up to the projection booth. And you want to make sure and keep a keen eye open, because there's an easily missable item up here. Yeah, it's a record that I think we might be able to play on that phonograph back in the children's room. Sadly, though, we can't find out what this record might be containing, but it's probably going to be a pretty snazzy tune considering all the other music on the soundtrack. But yeah, let's see what the projectionist has to say.
He should be here by now. I wonder when that boy's coming. He promised to show that film.
So another character is on the lookout for a young boy. I wonder if that's the same missing child that the mother was also looking for. So it's strange that the projectionist would be, held behind in his afterlife by just, having to screen a movie, but maybe Town Lights is just that good of a film. But as of right now, we've kind of run into a bit of a dead end, but, well, we are going to use our know-how and the tip we got from the manager of the casino to figure out the means to illuminate the hallway outside. And the key to all of that is the one other light source in the hallway here, which is all of these light bulbs on these constellations. Now, for the most part, most of these bulbs are already lit, but if you take a hard look at, well, I think it is Taurus over to the side here, you'll see that one of its bulbs is currently burnt out. And when you know it, it's not a bulb at all, but instead, it's a switch. Now with that, we finally escape the very, very dire music that's been playing. And the ghost has been, well, completely destroyed into some green goo, but even more so, we finally found that young boy.
I saw it. Grandpa William stabbed Mr. Arthur. Mother, I'm scared. Where are you? I can't hear Mother's song.
And we see that the young boy has had to deal with some horrible, horrible sight. And we get a pretty clear idea of how we should be able to reunite him with his mother, but still this is a very, very strange reaction that the ghost has had with the light, but you need to make sure and keep away from that. Well, it may seem sparkly and nice, it will, in actuality, do some damage to you. So, before we deal with that, let's go ahead and see if we can't reunite this mother and her missing child. All we gotta do is get her to start singing, and that's easy enough to do. We just gotta play a little bit of music for her. And we've managed to reunite and release another two spirits. And while you could take the record with you, there's honestly no reason to. Instead, our real prize is another two astral shards, or astral pieces. And in addition to that, little boy dropped, well, a key we've been looking for. Yeah, hopefully you managed to be exploring around, because otherwise you possibly could have missed this chest, but let's see what the young boy was keeping locked away. Well, for one thing, we have that piece of film that the engineer was waiting for. And in addition to that, we find a gear to some piece of machinery. Yeah, I guess this could be a part of the projector upstairs, but well, there's only one way to see if this is the film that the projectionist was looking for, especially considering there's no name on it. For lack of anything better to do, I guess we might as well go ahead and give it to him. Hopefully it's what he was looking for.
The film. Oh. The boy has died. This then will be the last show, as I've promised.
Yeah, another tough truth to deal with for a ghost, but does allow him to finish up his final act. Though we do have a little bit of a problem in the fact that the projector is very much broken. Yeah, even that gear that we picked up isn't going to fix it, so well, I guess whoever was waiting for the last picture show is just going to be plumb out of luck. Hopefully it's not the doctor down there, because it seems like he's already having a bad enough day as is. Well, we might as well go ahead and tell him the bad news.
It's not the poison? That knife. The red knife. Sir William's. Sir Arthur was with that knife, not the poison. It wasn't my fault.
So the mystery of William Rockwell just gets more and more bloody, as the lineup of bodies that he leaves behind just keeps on growing and growing. Also, the doctor, having been released from his forever bonds aboard the Orpheus, leaves behind us a key to that cabinet back in his office. It still leaves in question, though, if William Rockwell is just going around stabbing everybody. What was the purpose of the poison that he had requested from the doctor? Really, it's just another one of many questions to add to the pile. For right now, though, we We still have the problem of that mysterious green mist in the hallway there blocking our progression, but the solution to that is one we will find pretty quickly here. As it seems that the doctor, having been ordered to gather up so much poison, also had the foresight to make sure and have some antidote on hand. Whether that might be just for him or maybe for William Rockwell, it's hard to say, but we are going to be the ones that are going to end up getting some use out of it. Because wouldn't you know it, this green mist out here in the hallway, if we look at it and give it a little investigation, we find it is a very, very poisonous substance. So we just pour a little bit of antidote on that. And with the hallway all cleared up and well lit, it's now time to leave this portion of the second floor. And find ourselves in a very familiar location. Yeah, those 3 light switches at the end signify that we've managed to make our way back up to the first floor. And with that, I think this is a good part to call it an end. So, hopefully you will join me next time as we head off onto a fancy dress party. See you then.